I want to send a message to anyone who's ever told a Cleveland joke or laughed at a Cleveland joke. You can now officially shut up! These were the words of Drew Carey. And what I have to say about that is, you can now officially eat your words! It's been 19 years and you've done jack shit. In fact, let's look at what you've done. 1999. You get your franchise back after having it taken away from you by Art Modell in 1996. You receive a brand spanking new franchise with Al Lerner as your owner, Dwight Clark as your GM, and Chris Palmer as your head coach, and Cleveland Browns Stadium as your new stadium. You even got your own unique talent of the future in Tim Couch. Things are bright for you guys. Unfortunately, you fell victim to the steel curtain treatment and got shut out in your home opener 43-0. It's just one game. It's a fluke. You proceeded to go 0-7 before you even won a game on the road against the Saints. In fact, you didn't win a single game at home, going 2-14 in your first season. But it's just one season. They'll get their shit together. Oh boy, were we all wrong. 2000. Your first round draft pick is Courtney Brown, which I think most of you are aware that he's an absolute bust and had no value. Not only did he do nothing to help your defensive woes, but Tim Couch isn't turning out to be the quarterback everyone thought he could be. Regardless, at least you're showing improvement as you finish 3-13. 2001. Chris Palmer is gone and you hire Butch Davis as his replacement. This guy is far more effective at scoring, so hopefully he can solve your offensive ineptitude as you draft Jared Warren, a defensive tackle from Florida, with your first-round pick, who turned out to be a pretty good pick, as he started 15 games and had some solid performances here and there. In fact, you finished 7-9, which is great improvement from 3-13. You've got playoffs in your future. 2002, you draft William Green as your first-round pick. He was pretty good for his rookie season, but then he proceeded to burn out with numerous confrontations with the law, as well as adultery, substance abuse, alcoholism, and picking fights with other players. As for the season, you went 9-7 and made your first and only playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, in which you blew an 18-point lead and got shoved back into the basement. 2003, you draft Jeff Fain as your first-round pick. Because you're the Browns. You misuse him and end up trading him 3 years later. As for the season, you finish 5-11, mainly to William Green burning out and Courtney Brown being a complete bust. This complete lack of scoring leads to 5 games in which you don't even put up single-digit points. 2004, you draft Kellen Winslow with your first-round pick. He looked promising, only to realize that he was from Miami, a college known for its degeneracy. He suffered a season-ending leg injury 3 weeks into his rookie year, followed by another season-ending injury he received while riding his motorcycle in a parking lot. He also received 2 staph infections, something Cleveland has come to know like the back of their hand. Another bust in my books. No wonder why you traded him to Tampa Bay for pennies on the dollar. As for your season, you went 4-12 and went nowhere. In fact, your offense was so miserable without Kellen Winslow that you had 6 games where you scored 10 or less points. 2005. Goodbye, Butch Davis, and hello, Romeo Crennel. Phil Savage, welcome to Cleveland as the GM. With the 3rd pick in the draft, you go with Braylon Edwards, a wide receiver from Michigan. He received a staph infection as well as a season-ending knee injury. After he recovered, he had a standout year, fell off a damn cliff, then got traded for assets. As for the season, you went 6-10 and went from bad to mediocre. Congratulations. You draft Cameron Wembley as your first-round pick. He was very good, but you still traded him away by 2009. How Cleveland of you. You know what else is Browns like? Making a lot of big moves in order to make the playoffs, only to suffer major chemistry issues and finish the year 4-12. You fuckers. 2007. You have 2 first-round picks and decide to draft Joe Thomas and Brady Quinn. While Joe Thomas turned out to be a gem, he undoubtedly led to the success of the season, but Brady Quinn turned out to be a complete bust for the Browns, which later came back to bite you in the ass since he gave up a second-round pick and next year's first-round pick for a quarterback that threw 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions for his whole career. Regardless, you finished the season 10-6, the best year you've had since getting the franchise back in 1999. Unfortunately, the AFC was stacked this year and you got fucked out of a playoff appearance. I don't know if this is because the football gods hate you or if the NFL engineered the outcomes of certain games to keep you out. Either way, just like your draft picks you gave up for Brady Quinn, we'll never know what might have been. 2008, Phil Savage gives his 10-6 coaching squad extensions, which includes Romeo Crennel. Little did he know that this would backfire tremendously. Because you surrendered your first, second, and third round draft picks last season, you use your fourth round pick to draft Bo Bell out of UNLV. To nobody's surprise, he didn't pan out, what not being the 104th overall pick, as well as developmental problems. As for the season, you took a gigantic step back from last year's progress and finished 4-12, last in the AFC North. Also, your offense went from average to woeful as you had 5 games where you scored single digits. 2009, Phil Savage, get out of Cleveland. Your replacement is Cocones. Do not bring shame to this city. You know how you extended Romeo Crennel's contract? Yeah, he's been fired and been replaced by Eric Mangini. I am not making that name up. Mangini. He also completely guts the previous coaching staff, and the result is poor chemistry and bad experience. You also stayed active in the offseason and ended up bringing your first-round draft pick, but soon received another one to replace your own. Unfortunately, it turned out to be the 21st overall pick, and you decided to draft Alex Mack. Congratulations! With him and Joe Thomas in the trenches, you have 2/5 of a good offensive line. As you're about to find out, this doesn't save you from another losing season at 5-11. Hopefully, when the coaching staff gets some really good chemistry going, we can see you guys in the playoffs again. I don't feel comfortable mentioning the manslaughter and DUI of Donte Stallworth, so if you wish, feel free to Google it. 2010. Coconis, you're fired! Shameful display! Shameful display! Tom Heckert, you will be the new GM of the Browns, as well as other management moves which will further fuck up this organization's chemistry. With your first-round draft pick, you draft Joe Hayden, as panned out to be a necessary choice for you guys. Because you guys are the Browns, you released this truly talented cornerback in 2016, and he later went on to sign with your division rival in the Steelers. This is why you can't have nice things, Cleveland. To nobody's surprise, you finish the year 5-11 and disappoint your fans all the way throughout. 2011, Eric Mangini, security will show your way out. Pat Shurmur, welcome to the Browns. It's as if you guys never learn your lesson about team chemistry, as you once again gut the coaching staff. Because God hates you, you once again received the 21st overall pick, despite finishing 5-11. You draft Phil Taylor with your pick, and he panned out to be a bust, only having 7 career sacks as of January of 2018. No wonder why he's gone now. As for your season, you've severely bad chemistry, and the only thing that isn't complete shit is the O-line. Have a 4-12 season. 2012. At long last, the Lerner dynasty is gone. Jimmy Haslam, you are the new owner of the Cleveland Browns. Do not fuck this up. As with all other leadership changes, time to gut the coaching staff again. Once again, the team chemistry suffers for it. You have 2 first-round picks this year. With the 3rd pick, you decide to draft Trent Richardson out of Alabama. Due to your incompetence at developing young talent, you fuck up his career and he ends up getting traded to Indiana for a first-round pick. Remember this detail. Your other first-round pick ends up being Brandon Weeden, who's thrown 31 career touchdowns and 30 interceptions. You told him to fuck up and now he's to fuck off, and he's now the backup for Tennessee. Your season was like your draft picks, promising, but a mirage of smoke and mirrors as you finish 5-11. 2013. Tom Heckert, pack your personal belongings. Your days in Cleveland are over. Mike Lombardi, welcome to Cleveland. Pat Shurmur, you are a failure in every sense of the word. Here's the door. Rob Chudzinski, welcome to the Browns. Once again, the coaching staff gets gutted like a fish. In return, chemistry is at an all-time low. You use your only first-round pick to draft Barkevius Mango from Louisiana State. He, like his predecessors before him, became a bust and fucked off elsewhere. As for your season, you went 4-12 again, and the morale, chemistry, and security of the staff and management is at an all-time low. Time to trade away Trent Richardson for a first-round pick. Choose wisely. 2014. Mike Lombardi, get out of Jimmy Haslam's office. Ray Farmer, you get one shot at this. Rob Chudzinski, you're getting canned. Mike Patine will be what you'll only hope and dream to be out here in Cleveland. You use your 2 first-round picks to draft Justin Gilbert, a bus among busts, and with the first-round pick you got from Indiana, You draft Johnny fucking Football, an insert to the term fucking idiot. Not only did he burn out before he even got the chance to start a season with Cleveland, he also got into numerous offenses with the law, including alcoholism. Apparently, there's nothing better to do in Cleveland than drink yourself to death and take drugs. Your season turned out to be a dumpster fire as you finished 7-9. Little did you know what was to behold for the near future. 2015. Fortunately, there were no changes in leadership. Unfortunately, you didn't do a thing to improve upon last season, and you end up with a colossal failure of a season. You signed Dwayne Bowe $8 million to make a grand total of 5 catches. Easiest money ever made. Here's a facepalm. Then you went on to use your 2 first-round picks to draft Danny Shelton and Cameron Irving, neither in which contributed much of anything, and Cam Irving decided to fuck off to Kansas City. As for your season, you went 3-13. I don't need to say anything else about this season. 2016. Ray Farmer, you're fired. Sushi Brown, lead the team out of this circle of hell. Mike Patine, you're getting replaced by Hugh Jackson. I bet all of you are cringing right now. God knows I am. Fortunately, there weren't too many changes in the coaching staff. As for the draft, you draft Corey Coleman with the 15th. Like many before him, nothing's come out of this guy. As for your season, you were 1 bad kick away from going 0-16. You can thank the San Diego Chargers and Dean Spanos for that. Regardless, you finish 1-15. 2017. Last year was a wake-up call for you guys. It's time to make good drafting decisions and manage this organization much better than we did before. Hugh Jackson, you get 1 more shot. You draft Myles Garrett and Jabril Peppers with your first-round picks. This ought to solve your defensive woes. Unfortunately, the football gods had other thoughts in mind when you lost game after game after game. Hell, you guys were so bad this year that I think you guys are even worse than the 2008 Detroit Lions. Both of you might have went 0-16, but at least with the 2008 Lions, they had some close games. With Cleveland, it was blowout after blowout, especially against divisional teams like Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. It's just disgusting. And you know what the worst part of this is? Hugh Jackson went 1-31, and he is still your head coach. Shame for display! It's shame for display! And that, my friends, is the conclusion of this video. As you can see, my screensaver gave out just like the hopes and dreams of Cleveland fans everywhere. Good day.